Hunting on public land for elk can really be a challenge. But someday you're going to get in a position, particularly in a migration hunt, where you're going to have a half a dozen bulls looking at you and you can't figure out really which one's the best bull. So I put together this little segment called Rack Bracketing. It's a guide to field judging bull elk out there. And I think you're going to find this very interesting. And if you sit down and watch this, I guarantee it will help you be a better judge of trophy elk in the field. Okay, now what we're going to talk about now is we have 3 bulls here in 3 different rack brackets. This is a 290 bull, this is a 330, and then Mike's holding a 340. Now let's talk a little bit about this 290 bull, Mike. When you look at a bull out there in the field, how do you know this bull's a 290 versus maybe a 320 or something like that?
Well, the first thing you're going to notice is a shorter main beams, and in this case that bull is probably in the low 40s somewhere, and overall point length is shorter than a bigger bull.
He's just, everything is just miniature. Even his royals are much shorter. In fact, when you look here, they're really not too much longer than his back point.
That's
here.
Right.
So he's, this is kind of what a 290 bull would look like. Now, let me set this aside here. Now let's jump up to the 330, which this bull is here, and the 340. Now, can you tell us, Mike, a little bit of difference between these 2 bulls?
Well, one thing you'll notice is the 340 bull, and this one is in the mid 340s, has a little bit longer main beams, and not a lot. And in this case, he has longer fourth points and quite a bit better third points. So when you start adding all that together, it's easy to pick up quite a bit on the score.
Yeah, if you look here, this bull's front points are okay, but notice that 340s, they're a lot longer, and his are a lot longer, and he's, like you said, his back point, I call it, this one here is a lot longer. And when you start going up like that, and his main beams are longer, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
This one would be what, their main beams here, like 44 or something?
I would say 46, and this one's probably 48 to 49 inches.
So you can kind of see the difference here between the a 330 and a 340 bull. The next type of bull from the 340 is the 350, and the difference between these 2 bulls. Mike, would you like to comment a little bit about how you can tell the difference between a 350 and a 340 bull?
Well, when you get into a 350 class bull, you're looking at longer beam length as a rule. And in this case, your bull that you killed has a 52-inch beam on the left side there. He has a little more mass, longer point length overall, and especially in his fourth points, which on this side is over 20 inches.
So definitely when you jump up to 350, 360, it basically is the length of the beams and main beams and long points. That's about what it gets.
That's right.
So, and you know, another thing that people don't realize is that mass is a real attribute to a trophy elk, but when it comes to scoring, it really isn't something that is determined to how big a bull is. You got some thoughts on that though, don't you, Mike?
Well, I do. I think like most people, I appreciate mass in an animal, but in the overall scoring scheme, you don't get as much credit for it as you should, and that's probably just a quirk of the system that we use to score them.
Right. You know, but one thing to remember, if you see a bull out there with a short points and another bull that's right there that has long points but isn't real heavy, the bull that maybe doesn't have the long points but is heavy will not score as well as long tangs. Long tangs is what the Boone and Crockett scoring system really relies on to get you really up there into scoring a big bull, isn't it?
That's right.
Now let's go in the field and judge some of these elk. The first bull we have here is a 290 bull. You notice here, when he turns, he's got short main beams. His antlers look smaller than his body. He's just barely a 6-point. That's a 290 bull. Here's an example of a 300 bull. He's a little bigger. You notice his back royal is longer and his back fifth point is a little longer. His main beam's just a hair longer. That's about a 300 gross bull right there. He's typically a 5-year-old. Here's another example of a 300 bull, same thing. He's about a 5-year-old bull. He just turned a 6-point. Next year he'll be a 330 or a 320 bull, and he'll be 6 years old. This bull right here is a classic example of a 320 bull. He's got 45-inch main beams. His royals and his back point are almost the same length. Now we're getting up into a good quality trophy elk, particularly on public land in a general hunted area. Now this bull here is your 330 bull. I consider a 330 a good quality trophy bull elk. You notice here he has 45-inch main beams. His royals are probably 16 inches. Here's another example of a 330 bull. His back point is a little short, but it's made up by his royal. He's a little on the heavy side. Good bull. This is an example of a 340. He's got 50-inch main beams. His back point's a little short, and his royals are probably 18 inches. Here's another 340. This is a beautiful bull right here. He's got everything. He's probably a high 340, just not quite a 350, but getting close. He's got almost 50-inch main beams. He's got 18-inch royals, 12-inch back points. Now here's what it takes to be a 350 bull. Both his back points and his royals are almost the same length. His other 3 points are well over 12 inches apiece. He's got over a 51-inch main beam. That is really a classic 350. Here's another 350 bull. This bull's probably got 54-inch main beams. See how they swoop down? Then again, notice his royals and his back points are almost the same length. Now we jump up to a 360 class bull. And this is what it takes to be 360. "54-inch main beams, 21, 23-inch royals, 18-inch back points." That is a good-looking, mature trophy elk.